You are listening to Here Before, Here Now, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.
Hey guys, Colton here with another episode of Here Before, Here Now. And today's episode deals with the situation that's happening in Indian country. And it's just a terrible thing. You may have heard of the MMIW crisis, the missing and murdered Indigenous women. This has been going on for far too long. And finally, within the last several years, it seems like this has really become a huge conversation nationally. People are now understanding, or at least finding out, that Native American women go missing and are murdered at a rate higher disproportionately to the amount of people there are, right? So it's an issue that has unfortunately garnered so many headlines. Just recently here in Arizona, sadly, we had the case of Emily Pike, just a young woman, young girl, I should say, whose body was found. It's just so hard to talk about. Her remains were found about an hour and a half northeast of the valley here. And, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with her family and, you know, still waiting to find out more details on the investigation with potential arrests. We don't know. I mean, we're still trying to figure out exactly what is happening. But with cases like this, more of an awareness comes around this. Just recently, Governor Katie Hobbs signed a bill into law honoring Emily Pike to really try to prevent this from happening again. Also with that bill, establishing what's known as a Turquoise alert to alert people, law enforcement, the community, when a missing Native person goes missing, I should say. A Native person goes missing. And from our reporting and from my reporting for several years, the families I talk to who say that they've had Indigenous family members go missing, from what they tell me, they say it's really hard for law enforcement to really take the case seriously. So if this alert goes out, maybe more people will see it, and God hopes that you know, another case like Emily Pike's doesn't happen again. So again, our thoughts with the family. So today, I am speaking with a couple of high school students and also their teacher. They are taking this crisis and trying to educate others about it as well. This is for National History Day competition. It's a national competition that's happening actually this weekend. And they took second place at the state. And now they are going to be heading to Maryland in the next few days to talk about this problem and also ways to address it. And hopefully this doesn't happen again. So I'd like to introduce my guest. This is Jeron Valasco. He is their teacher. And this is Carmen Thompson, right?
Yeah.
And this is Imani Haven.
Yes.
So a couple of sophomores. And let's start off with your teacher here, Mr. Velasquez. Talk about the school you're from and this project that your students are doing.
It started with National History Day, and every year they have a theme, and this year's theme is Rights and Responsibilities. So the students has 5 choices on how to present their topic. Mm-hmm. They can have a drama, they can have trifold, they can have website, or a research paper. And this pair, Imani and Carmen, chose to have a trifold. And with great number of kids who wants to join, I have 40 kids and 22 entries. I told them in our meeting, in our history club, that they have this theme for this year, Rights and Responsibilities. Think especially of the topics that touches their community, touches their family, their tribal land, and their rights and responsibilities. And the next day, Carmen approached me and Imani approached me about their topic that they chose, this MMIW. Mm-hmm. And even me, I have to look for more information. I have to research for more information. What is this MMIW and why are the girls trying to present this as their project? And I guided them on how to write their process paper. They have to answer 5 questions. Why did they choose this? What are the primary sources that they have to look for? And what are the things that they can give a new perspective on the topic? And through their collaboration and their interaction towards each other, were able to present a trifold that is very meaningful. The first presentation we had was in Flagstaff. So Arizona is divided into 4 regions with NHDAZ, and we presented in Flagstaff, and they were able to win on that regionals level. So they were able to present in the state level, and luckily they were able to get the second place.
That's amazing. So pronounce the name of the school where you guys are coming from.
We are from this Chibico Community School in the high school department.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, so we got the layup, the setup here of what this competition is. You guys choosing MMIW. Carmen, let's start off with you. Why did you decide that this was something that needed to have more attention? Is there like a specific reason why you thought making a trifold in this case would be beneficial for people to know about?
Obviously, for them to learn about is how high the cases have been over the past few years, such as in 2018, and how much the rate went up 10 times higher. And yeah.
You know, when we talk about the numbers here, how the cases are going up, they're higher from what you've been researching. What have you learned in terms of this crisis that has maybe made you think differently about something?
Learning about these cases made me think that we should spread awareness to many Native American cultures around, and yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's bring in Imani. Imani, why this topic? Why is this important?
I chose this topic because I wanted to bring awareness about something that was really going on, and it wasn't really being talked about much. So I chose this topic because, like, I just think after every case, it just gets pushed aside, and no one really worries about it as much. And so that's why I chose this topic, because I wanted to bring awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I wanted people to focus on it more.
When you guys do these competitions and you present your report, what is some of the feedback you've received from people who are watching, or maybe even your judges about it? Like, is it something that they haven't been really aware of, or
Yeah.
what are they saying?
Mainly they're just asking questions about it, because like it's not really talked about, so they don't really know anything about MMIW. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about this case, or when you are presenting about this, are there any like personal feelings that come into this? Because we know that there's a lot of people who are impacted by this crisis in Native communities. And you guys are from a Native community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, is there any thoughts or emotions or any personal connections to any of these cases? Yes? No? No? So Jeron, when they talk about this and they get the feedback from others, what has the response been like?
This is the common topics that they bring out every time we have our discussions inside the classroom. Every time we have picture analysis, or there's a painting from the 1800s, from the Trail of Tears, they bring up these topics, which is a contemporary, where in fact what we're talking about are 100, 200 years ago. So it means that they are still feeling the impact of this generational, of these historical events that happened in the past, where it transformed into something that they can relate. They are girls, they are women of the community. They have Emily Pike's area of crime, where we just passed by when we were driving going here, and that was really had an impact on us. We stopped over, we silenced our car, and we offered the silence. And inside the classroom, the art that they're working, the paintings, the drawings. They are shouting. They are giving messages. They are giving the voices of these voiceless victims of MMIW. And I'm very proud of these girls that they were able to translate what they feel, what they believe. Yep, these are communities that it is for teachers quite hard sometimes to get and solicit their voices and their opinion. But as they get the sense of reflection, of the sense of urgency, and they know that there would be no one else best to speak out for them than themselves.
So, Carmen, tell me what the competition is like. Do you go in front of a panel of judges and then you present your trifold, or do you go into a classroom, auditorium? What's the competition setup?
The competition setup is like where we all go in a room, like as our group, such as if you're in it as a senior exhibit or whatever. They have you like set it up on a table and present right in front of them and explain to them like why you're doing this exhibit and everything. And yeah.
Who did the most work?
We both did
Good.
most of the work.
Yeah.
She did research and I just helped set up and stuff. Yeah.
So she did the hard work. Imani rolls her eyes. But what's it like to compete? I mean, it's always that rush of adrenaline going in front of someone, and you know, what do you feel like when you go into these competitions?
I feel scared. I feel, I don't know. I feel
Just feel nervous before our time begins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you get? Do you have a time limit?
It's like
it's basically
10 minutes
based on the judges. The judges, it depends on how long they wanna ask you questions or how long they wanna just get your board and like they
observe
just
it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really up to the judges on how long they take.
After the presentation, do you guys kind of go at each other like, oh man, we should have done this, or you should have done this better, or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's always messing up?
It's always me because I always,
She always
don't
ends
know
up
what
laughing.
to say, and yeah, my mind just goes blank after all this because I'm really shy.
Yeah. I used to do competitions too in high school, and we would go into rooms and we would have a judge, and our peers and everything would watch. And I get that. I remember doing the first few competitions of speech and debate, and I would just be nervous, and you don't want your name to be called, and you want to be not the first one, but not the last one, but to kind of gauge how your presentation is up against other people's. When you are finished with the competition and knowing that you got second place in the state, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
You know, and it's validating that you have a presentation that people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's that like? Oh yeah, people actually want to learn more about this. It's got to be kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Is there something you wish you did differently in terms of the last competition?
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both of you are 16, right?
Yeah.
You guys live in Sibique?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sibique. So what is the reservation that is in that area? Is it the
White Mountain.
White
Apache.
Mountain Apache? And you guys are from White Mountain Apache tribe?
Yeah.
What's it like being a 16-year-old in a tribal community in this day and age?
It's really nice because you're surrounded by family most of the time. And it's nice also because you'll get to see these young girls grow up and have traditional sunrise dances around and just be within the community and stuff.
Mm-hmm. What's important to you?
Yeah, because it's our tradition and that's what we grew up on most of our lives.
Yeah. What about for you, Imani? Being in that environment where it's there and it's always there and present. I'm here in Phoenix. My family lives up on the Navajo reservation.
Yeah.
And it's tough to have all that culture around me unless I go seek it out here in the valley.
Yeah.
But you're right in it. What's that like? It's gotta be fun. Gotta be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But as you are young women, obviously, sadly, these cases involve with these missing and murdered Indigenous women, Native young girls, Native women are the ones who get impacted the most. Yes, men go missing as well and are murdered as well. But when we talk about young women here, I mean, when we hear about this crisis and you are telling people about it, do you feel, I don't want to say like maybe scared or like feel like you have to always be aware of everything around you? I mean, unfortunately, that's an awful thing to ask, but like in this day and age, especially with this crisis, do you feel like you guys are targets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of this only happens to girls our age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Scared.
Scared most of the time.
Yeah.
Is this a conversation that you have with your parents or family members about this crisis and staying safe or what to be on the lookout for? Are those conversations taking place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that are told to you?
Just to really be careful with your surroundings and know that you're a girl. And like my grandparents always told me to watch my surroundings. And I don't know.
Do you think it's unfair that you have to be on a level of more heightened awareness than, say, other girls from different demographics?
Yeah. I feel like we shouldn't be having to we shouldn't have to be aware as much, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a daughter and I have a sister, Native sister. My daughter's is Native. And, like it's hearing about these stories and about these cases, it makes me want to be on the lookout for them too. Do you feel like people are watching out for you guys when, these types of stories come out? Does it get talked about in the household at all, or?
Sometimes, not really.
Yeah.
Because, like Imani said earlier, some of these cases don't be talked about as much. But, no, that it don't get talked about at home or anything. But, because some of us, we just don't know what's going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
And when they bring it to the community, it brings us like awareness that we should like stay safe out there, especially as women and girls, because we might not know what's gonna happen out there or whatever.
Mm-hmm. You guys are growing up in a different age than I did. You guys have like social media at the ready, at TikTok, Instagram, all this and that and the other.
Mm-hmm.
With all that sort of stuff, do you feel like you also have to be very careful too in terms of like what you post and what is being done, or I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I think social media is a really good, powerful tool to get more of this messaging out, right? Because you always are seeing about marches and legislation and things, even more cases that are probably not being talked about on the news, used with social media to tell about these cases. Do you think that's empowering for this movement to, bring more awareness to it? Like, do you guys use social media to share these types of stories or information about certain things?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys feel like after this competition, doing with what you guys present? I mean, is this over for you guys in terms of this presentation, or do you feel like in the next couple of years when you're a junior and senior that you want to continue to do more with this movement?
Yeah, I feel like I'd want to continue to do more with this movement because it's something that really needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after high school, what's the plan? What do you guys feel like you guys want to do? I know that, 16, it goes by so fast. And at that point you have all these thoughts about what's going to happen. So what do you guys think you want to do or dream about for like school or career or life?
I would go to college, but I don't really know yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and career, I'm not really thinking about it right now. I'm
So,
just
yeah.
here.
Yeah, you got time. How about you, Imani?
This kind of makes me feel interested in like law. Like after school, I want to go to college. It makes me want to go to college and come like work within the law enforcement, under the law enforcement, so I can come back and help. You know, like be the help what we needed during all these cases type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like being part of the change.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Valasco, as we go into the competition this weekend, you guys are going to Maryland. Are you excited?
Very excited. First time.
Yeah. And have you done anything with this competition before this year?
No, this is our first time to join NHD. I've been with NHD way back in New Mexico as a judge, but not with kids. This is the first year that I brought kids with me, and very proud that they were able to go as far as this.
Yeah.
And at first it was a struggle inside the classroom to introduce them to this kinds of contests that they will push back, and they would say, nope, it's not for us. We've never joined like that. They're gonna not listen to us. And you have to always also kind of present to them that this is something that we can try, that we can engage with. Let us see, you just need to try, and there's not really harm that will happen here. It's just all welcoming arms that you will see.
Yeah.
And I hope these girls really felt that with National History Day, Arizona, that they were very warm, accommodating, and they even extended beyond what they are ought to provide with the kids and the teachers, like training them with the museum, giving them feedbacks, and trying to prepare them for nationals. We went to the Scottsdale Museum, and they were coached by these experts, professionals, and even filmmakers on how to make their presentation bigger and win the nationals.
Well, I will tell you, being someone who has done competitions and who does stuff on television, the more you make it, the more it seems like it's too intense for you. It hits to be about just right. So that's just my little tip for you guys. Yeah, I know. Sometimes like, am I overselling it? Am I overdoing it? But no, when you do it like that, that's like the best, the best way to reach that barometer. Well, Imani and Carmen, Mr. Valasco, thank you all so much for making the trip. How long was the drive?
Like 2.5 hours.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Are you guys going to do anything here in the Valley while you're here, or?
Probably just go out and eat or something.
Yeah. Anything in particular?
I don't know. It's up to these guys.
All right. Well, he said you were in New Mexico for a while? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a place, Hatchet Chili, right across the street. So they've got some Hatchet Chili burritos and burgers. So I also spent time in New Mexico. All right. Well, thank you all so much, and good luck on the competition.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
We hear from you guys and you do well. And going forward, be well and stay safe. Thanks, guys. Thank you all for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Here Before, Here Now. You can always drop me a line and just send me an email at colton.shone@azfamily.com. If you have any guest ideas or if you have a topic that you'd like to see be covered, please feel free to reach out. Till next time.
You are listening to Here Before, Here Now, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.